Emily sat on the edge of the exam table, swinging her feet nervously, the thin paper crinkling under her. She was 28, always busy, always fine. The kind of person who canceled checkups because work was more important. But today, in a small clinic in Boston, she had finally shown up. Mostly because her best friend wouldn't stop nagging her. "Just go, Em. It's one appointment," her friend had said. So here she was, scrolling through her phone, pretending not to be scared of what silence in a hospital room really meant. Dr. Daniel Carter, 35, stared at the computer screen in his office across the hallway, his heart beating a little faster. He'd seen thousands of blood test results, but this one made him swallow hard. Emily's chart showed early signs of a serious condition, one that could still be treated if they acted now. But it would also mean changing her entire lifestyle. He took off his glasses, rubbed his eyes, and felt that familiar heaviness settle on his shoulders. He'd lost a patient before because they'd come too late. This time he had a chance. Maybe, if she listened. When he walked into the room, Emily forced a small smile. "So, Doc, am I dying?" she joked, trying to hide the tremor in her voice. Dr. Carter sat on the little stool across from her and didn't laugh. Instead, he looked right at her, really looked, not just as another name on a file. "You're not dying," he said gently. "But this checkup might have just saved your life if you let it." The room suddenly felt smaller. Emily's phone screen dimmed in her hand. "What do you mean?" she whispered. He turned the monitor toward her and explained. Her tests showed the early signs of a heart condition. Nothing dramatic yet, nothing like in the movies, no collapsing in the street. Just quiet damage. The kind that builds up when you ignore your body, your stress, your pain. "If we work on this now," he said, "you can live a long, healthy life. But if we ignore it, in a few years this could be very serious. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to give you a chance." Emily felt her throat tighten. She thought of all the late nights at the office in New York, the skipped meals, the energy drinks, the empty promises to start taking care of myself next week. She thought of her mom, who always said, "Health first, honey. You only get one body." Emily had rolled her eyes every time. Now those words echoed like a warning she'd been too stubborn to hear. "What do I have to do?" she asked, voice shaking. Dr. Carter took a deep breath. He wasn't just talking as a doctor now. He was talking as someone who knew what it meant to feel like life was slipping out of his control. "We'll start treatment," he said. "Medication, regular checkups, and you're going to have to change your habits. Eat better, sleep more, move more. Listen when your body whispers instead of waiting until it screams." He smiled softly. "And you're not doing it alone. I'll be here every step of the way. But Emily, you have to choose yourself." For a moment Emily's eyes filled with tears. Not just from fear, but from guilt. She had always chosen work, deadlines, bosses, other people's expectations. When had she last chosen her? She looked at this doctor who could have rushed through her appointment, could have brushed it off as "come back in 6 months. Instead, he was sitting here, carefully, patiently, treating her like a human being whose future still mattered. "Okay," she said, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. "Okay, I'll do it. I want to live. I'm not ready to give up on myself yet." What she didn't know was that Dr. Carter needed those words just as much as she did. For months he'd been questioning if he was making any difference. Long hours, endless paperwork, patients who didn't listen until it was too late. It had worn him down. He'd thought about quitting. He'd wondered if all his sacrifices were worth it. But in that moment when Emily chose herself, something in him healed too. Her okay reminded him why he became a doctor in the first place. Not to fix everyone, but to fight for one person at a time. Weeks passed. Emily slowly changed. She started walking in the mornings instead of scrolling endlessly in bed. She learned to cook simple, healthier meals. She put her phone on silent at night and actually slept. Every time she wanted to slip back into old habits, she remembered the look in Dr. Carter's eyes when he said, "I'll be here every step of the way." She didn't want to waste the chance he'd given her. She didn't want to waste the chance life had given her. At each follow-up, her numbers improved. Her heartbeat, once something she'd never thought about, became the most precious sound in her world. And for Dr. Carter, every improvement on her chart was like a tiny light switching back on in a dark hallway inside him. His burnout didn't vanish overnight, but every time he saw Emily walk in smiling, alive, trying, He felt his purpose come back into focus. One afternoon, as she was about to leave another appointment, Emily turned back at the door. "Hey, Dr. Carter," she said. "I know you probably don't hear this enough, but thank you. That day, you didn't just give me information. You gave me a wake-up call. You gave me my future back." Her voice softened. "You changed my life." He felt a lump rise in his throat. "You changed it," he replied. "You're the one who decided to fight for yourself. I just pointed at the door. You walked through it." But when she left, he sat there for a moment, hands resting on his knees, and whispered to himself, "This is why I stay. This is why I keep going." Because her life wasn't the only one that had changed in that small white room. His had too. So if you're watching this right now, remember, it was just a routine checkup. A normal day. A normal appointment. But it became the turning point of two people's lives. One who decided to finally take care of herself, and one who remembered why he chose to care for others.